Hello folks, ThomFnG here and welcome back. So we will just continue kind of where we left off last time. We had another, yes you guessed it, supply mission. Like I say, it'll take some time before the Haven advisors have changed their positions, and then everything will be hunky-dory after that. There should be no, well, there was no other supply mission after that. We kind of made sure that all our havens only had 3 people doing a job, and that way it would reduce the chance of these missions actually triggering, which was nice. Quite simple mission. Like I say, we got in a position well enough. We did get a sectopod quite early enough, so we were able to take that down nice and quickly. The only problem was we did get into a position where they did engage us, and I had one of my people flanked. Took a lot of damage, close to dying, but you know, it didn't take us past that point, so I was quite happy with that. But yeah, it could have been a lot worse. But overall, we managed to get through this mission without too much trouble, so I was quite happy with that.
Central, Commander, excellent. My analysis of the fragmented codex data is almost complete. The information I've uncovered so far outweighs the loss of the Shadow Chamber, as you'll see.
Is that an elder? Haven't seen one in at least a decade.
Yes, and I believe I now understand why. The elders appear to be afflicted with an aggressive form of tissue degeneration, rapid muscular atrophy, to a degree I had not even thought possible.
So they're dying. Sounds like our job just got a whole lot easier.
As with most things involving this adversary, it's never quite that simple. The elders have been aggressively searching for a cure to their condition for centuries. Each time they encountered a new species, they procured what genetic information and material they required and moved on to the next world. Until now. I believe they found something in us. Something important enough to cause them to take root.
A cure?
Not that I can determine. Several key files were previously deleted as part of something called the Avatar Directive.
Avatar. We need those files.
Were I to gain access to a fully functioning codex, I might be able to recover them.
Or blow the entire ship to hell this time around.
I didn't say I needed the creature here, Bradford. I am confident I could access the unit remotely, provided your soldiers can get close enough to it in the field without destroying it first.
That we can arrange, Doctor.
So as stated, this is the alien network, so this is where we have to basically grab a codex to spawn an avatar. So that's basically the last story mission we have to do before we get to the last 3 missions. Like I say, I still have the 3 missions to perform. So basically there's the network tower that you get into, where you do get some bonuses, which is nice, and then you basically get the last mission, which is, I would always say, a part 1 and a part 2. It's just simply that it's just somehow the way it's broken up. That's the way I would see it anyway. So 3 missions to go. I still got I would say maybe a week before I can get that done. Like I say, I'm quite busy where I am with work and babysitting, so I'll have to schedule time to get that done. But overall, again, there's some just basic missions that I have to get done. Again, I believe I get 2 more faceless missions and 1 more regular mission, I believe, if I remember, and then it's basically onwards to that codex or network mission. So overall, I'm quite happy with how everything has been handled. And as I said, folks, we did have a couple of missions. Like I say, we had a faceless mission. We had quite a few faceless missions to go, and we also had a hack cache mission as well on basically this episode. So essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to basically go through the episodes essentially and just have a breakdown of what they are. This episode was about an hour and a half, and I only done like 2 missions. A lot of the time we were just basically waiting around for the the codex mission to basically have the 100% or whatever percent I could get on it. But like I say, I did, as I said previously in the last episode, there was a point where I totally forgot to basically give the specialist the skulljack, so basically we lost 10 days because of that, and basically had to get the people back and then put people back onto the mission again. So I lost 10 days, which in the grand scheme of things isn't that important, like I say, because of the havens and stuff like that, and the fact that we are, no, I was successful in that mission, I know, spoiler, and because we're pushing for endgame after that, it's literally just the Advent Network Tower that you have to perform with bonuses for you, which is great. And then you have part 1 and part 2 of the alien mission, or the alien ship mission. So overall, like I say, Advent could take care of all my havens and I'll still be able to push for endgame. So I'm quite happy with that. So far though, overall, I've gained a lot of knowledge playing this one. Playing Long War of the Chosen. Certainly a lot to do with the Shinobi. How to manage them better would be a big help for me in the next campaign that I perform. But overall, in the grand scheme of things, the game has been more, how do I put it, it's been less buggy, put it that way. The last campaign I had, the Overwatch bug was very frequent and very annoying, to make it bluntly, but overall I was quite happy with the development of the Highlander community and the how stable it was. That's the word I'm looking for. It was very stable. Only I think in the long run there was only maybe 3 bugs in total that I basically encountered. Unfortunately, we still have that same bug with the story missions, is that on a lot of them, if you don't save it for the last turn and then you reload to save, that's always been present. Luckily, you'll see in the codec mission that I do, I put a brave face on because I did make a mistake, and I nearly made the mistake twice. Well, I did make the same mistake twice, but the good thing is, luck was on my favour that time. So overall, I was happy all round just how stable the actual add-ons were in this one. So I think for the next campaign, I definitely will play on Legendary, and I will make it Iron Man this time, simply because I understand how Long War kind of works now. I've got a good framework of how I want to basically play it next time, and obviously it's going to be a lot harder simply because I'll reduce the avatar project to its basically baseline, and I'll make other tweaks here and there to make it a little bit more unforgivable for myself. So certainly with the flawless missions that I've been able to perform, I might tweak them to be more in line with what they basically had. I didn't think you would get flawless missions as a win rate as high as it was, so I'll definitely tweak that for the next time around. So as I stated previously, folks, I'm basically already done that codex mission. So what I'm going to do here is essentially I've got 4 episodes that I've basically recorded, roughly about 2 hours long, because like I say, we had faceless missions, we had supply missions that we started to get done, and then also we had this mission, which was an actual retaliation mission. So we got engaged early on, right from the start. That means whatever I did, the Shinobi was going to get seen straight away. Now the good thing is we had the sniper there, so I could disable the sectopod that basically came out and deal with the 2 snakes, and then from there it was a cakewalk. I'm not going to lie. We got ourselves in a good position where Overwatch basically just did the whole work for the whole thing, which is nice. Now we did lose about 3 or 4, I believe, on this one. Haven advisors. In the grand scheme of things, like I say, because we're pushing for endgame, it's not going to outcome endgame, which is nice. But overall, I would have obviously liked to have them around, but it is what it is. So overall, I was quite happy how I managed this one, but like I say, I really have to get on top of the shinobis and how to actually master them going forward. So from there we had an actual invasion mission. So again, this is where we basically have to destroy the beacon. Now the good thing about this one is that we engaged them early on and we got a vast amount of enemies at the start, and we were able to basically just use the technician with the 2 grenaders to basically try and CC as much as possible. The good thing is because of the technician, we were able to panic quite a lot of the enemies, which was nice, and with the 2 grenaders throwing out the incendiary bombs, we were able to burn them as well. So overall it was very handy that we engaged so many at the beginning, and on top of that, from where we were, all we had to do was push forward. There was a building for us, and then as soon as we got on top of the building and had our shinobi push just a little bit forward, the beacon was essentially right in front of us. So great place for the sniper just to basically sit there and just take it on by force. So I was able to stop the reinforcements, but even coming in from the start, and then from there it was just pushing out as much as I dared to basically have the other enemies engage on us, and they essentially left the Haven advisors alone, which is great. So made sure that I was able to get 2 people out and then just take it from there. So overall very happy with that one, but like I say, sometimes you have to get a bit of luck coming your way to get the mission complete without too many problems. So happy. From here we were basically trying to abuse the covert operations as much as possible, and the reason we're doing that is we want to try and get as many ability points as possible for the end mission, and that way we can tweak every soldier that we have to give them the best output and survivability for the end. Now I've been doing that for maybe about the last 20 or so episodes essentially. Like I say, obviously you can only do that once, and then you'll have to wait a month before it comes back up again. With that as well, if we have any great intense training, essentially the ones we're looking for are aim, which I didn't get too many of, which is a shame. But as you can see, we finally triggered the avatar project, so that means I have to basically get one of the Advent, not the headquarters, but one of the Advent alien facilities. Now, the good thing about this is that I didn't know at the time that when I completed that Codex mission, it basically takes the Avatar 3 points off the Avatar project. So I didn't have to put anybody on this, but I didn't know that at the time. So it's something again I will learn from next time. Now, also with this one, I'm not very sure if the timer resets after every time you complete an alien facility, or it starts off for basically where it left off the last time. I'll have to do some research on that one, because I believe some add-ons basically just start it off where it left off the last time, and other add-ons basically just reset it back up. I think it's like a 26-day timer or something like that, so I'll have to remember that, and I'll have to do some research for that. But the good thing is I didn't have to put anybody on this mission, like I say, because of the Codex mission, so I basically brought these people back. So yeah, all in all, quite happy, but I think what I'll do, folks, is I'll just leave you here. Like I say, I've essentially done 2 episodes after that. Now you may be thinking, well, why did you do 2 episodes? Well, the reason I did 2 episodes is I forgot to do that thing where I said, you know, folks, you should always save it for the last turn on the story mission. I didn't do that, and it crashed, so I had to do it again, and I almost made, well, I made the same mistake again, but this time it didn't crash, and you should see the look on my face. It is priceless. So until then, folks, it's been ThomFnG. As always, practice makes perfect, and I'll see you in the next one.